Okay, I was able to free up the alternator. As you can see, it spins easy. Okay, so now I can put the belt back on. And I need to change the belt, but at least I'll have water pump. Now I'll fill the radiator with water when I get ready to try to start it. I should say start it, not try to start it. And anyway, I got it free. So I did that first because I wanted to have a water pump. Once it starts, I want to continue to run it. I don't want to have to worry about it overheating because the water pump's not turning. So, okay, so there we are. I'm going to put the belt on. Fill this with antifreeze. Fill up all the fluids. And pull the plugs. I didn't do that yet. And crank her over. And blow all the motor mixture all out of the cylinders before we try to start it. Okay, in another video I have how I did this alternator, how I freed it up. And instead of throwing it away and spending $100, I have another video showing how to repair an alternator that's frozen. Okay, then I'm going to put her back together and see if we can get her cranked. Okay, I got the battery of the other vehicle. I pulled all the plugs out and I spun it over. And whether it's going to have compression or not, I don't know. I'm going to turn it over. Go ahead. Okay. Okay, spin it over. That far. That compression. Okay, next we put it back together and put a little gas in it. Okay, everything looks good. Everything looks good so far. Now, someone has suggested that you pull the distributor and put a spade tool down there and spin it to get oil pressure. And I didn't see the need of going through all that. The starter spins the engine. All the plugs are out. Okay. You want to get oil up to the top of your engine, which I can understand. But the starter will get it up there quick as anything else. All right, watch. We got power. Now all we got to do is get an external fuel tank and hook up to it. Okay, but watch here. Okay, I just got finished cranking it. But see right here, the oil pressure. Okay, I turned the key on. Okay, the oil pressure went all the way down. Now watch. Uh-oh. I'm gonna try it again. Okay, I got a loose connection on the battery. Let me fix that. Oh yes, I had a loose connection on the battery. Now watch the oil pressure right here. As the motor spinning. Now that's putting oil all through the up to the valve covers, all through the engine. So you don't have to pull the distributor and put some kind of rigged up spade connector in there to spin your oil pump. I don't know why people would want to even do that, but several people said to do that. Okay. So we got oil pressure. It's coming up as we spin it. So that tells me we got oil coming into the top of the valve covers and leaking down. And that's what you want. Okay. So next we're going to do is find a way to rig up fuel to it. Of course the tank is I'm not going to try to clean that tank. So I'm going to disconnect from the tank and take an oil, a gas can rather, and start it, put the plugs back in, and that way we'll have fresh gas going to it. We'll see if she's going to crank. Now it's going to smoke. A lot of oil has been blown out of the engine onto the manifold, the exhaust manifold. Plus, there's a lot of oil in the on the cylinders. That's going to smoke. But we got fire, we got oil pressure. So that's the next step, is to figure out how to get fuel to it. All right. This is an update on how long this truck has been sitting. Okay. This truck was wrecked 14 years ago. All right. I kept it in my shop. I got a shop over there. I kept it in my shop for about 4 or 5 years and started it. I changed the gas. I remember cleaning it out, the gas tank, changing the gas, and I would start it and run it. And I did that for several years, about 4 years. Then I parked it out here. It was in my way. So I'd said it was 5 years since it's run. It's actually been 10 years. Gee, how time flies. 2011. It was the next inspection sticker was due. So it's been sitting here 10 years on the outside of the house here. And just an update on what it's doing. Now I hooked the battery up, all the door locks, everything works. Of course the front, my headlights don't work. The lights work, radio works, everything seems to work. So I'm not so much concerned with all that. Hopefully the truck I buy is gonna have all that stuff working in it. If not, I got parts here. I got a set of rims. Of course, it needs tires. This tire's been sitting here 14 years. And that tire's not lost air in 14 years. Look at that. I've never put air in it. That tire fell apart. Okay. Just an update. It's 10 years it's been sitting. We're getting the old gas out of the tank as much as we can. We're going to get as much as we can out of the tank, and then we're going to put some of this stuff in there. This stuff gets rid of any water before we put fresh gas in. So meanwhile, we're going to see how much gas we can get out of there. Now, if you're not sure if the fuel gauge is working correctly, so that's where we are now. We're trying to get some fresh gas in here. I'm thinking if I can get as much as I can and put about 15 gallons of fresh gas in there, we ought to be good to go. Yeah, I put a little of the old gas on these shelves right here, and it lit right up. It made a poof. So it's not as bad as I thought it was. It's only 10 years old. So it's still flammable. Okay, the Silverado, we're not getting any fuel coming out of the, there's a little port there on one of the lawns. You unscrew the little plastic cap, and there's like a valve stem on it, like you're having a tire. You could take a tire, valve stem remover, and take it out. That's what I did. And I hooked a hose, and that's where you check your fuel pressure. You don't take the little valve out when you check fuel pressure. I just took a fuel hose and hooked to it and put it into this can. Okay, I'm not getting any fuel at all. Alright. Fuel should be gushing out of there. Alright. So we're going to look at the relay. The fuel pump relay. There's two little tabs. There's a tab there, and a tab here. Okay. Now this is your fuel pump relay. This little box right there. Alright. Pull it out. Now we want to check and see if the relay is bad. Should come right out of there. Okay. Now, one of these terminals is going to be hot all the time. Okay. And it's 38. This one right here. I got my little tester. Okay, you can see the light lit up. 38 is hot all the time. Okay, so what I did, I took a paper clip. Now 30 is the opposite one. 30 is this one right here. You can see what I'm doing. That's 38, the one that's hot all the time. Okay. And then 30 is right here. Okay. Now number 30 goes straight to the fuel pump. So I took a paper clip and I jumped the paper clip from here to 30. And that should bypass everything, and that should bypass the computer or the CM module. Okay. That should bypass the computer CM module. CMM. Okay. Okay. There's still nothing. Okay. Okay. This is actually the drivetrain control module. Okay. But anyway, you're actually bypassing this and going direct. Okay. So when I put the paper clip from here to here, you should hear the fuel pump running, and I have nothing. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that's a bad fuel pump. Okay. But it's telling me that the relay, it's not the relay. Okay. All right. So now what I did, what I'm going to do. All right. I'm going to hook my test light to my battery, and this thing happens to have a long cord. That's okay. And I'm going to take my ground off my test light and touch it to 30, and that'll tell me if this 30. It should be grounded. This should be grounded. Okay? So, let's rig all that up. I'm going to disconnect this. Alright, and the only thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this test light, and what I'm going to do is hook it, put it right here on the battery, on the positive side of the battery. Okay? Now, any place I can do a ground, the light will light up. And that tells me if there's a ground. Okay? Now, come back over here if I have enough wire. Okay. I have a little paper clip that's wrapped around this little wire here. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take the paper clip. Alright. And come over here, and we're going to hook the paper clip, put the paper clip right here in 30. Okay. Anyway, it is, I couldn't get this into that little slot. Now, so the connection came loose. You can hook this to the back of the alternator, any place you can get it. This is directly from the battery. I can jam it in there. Okay. Alright. See what I do without it coming loose. Alright. Now any place I touch the ground, like on the, right here on the brake, master cylinder, I should get a light. And let's see. Right there. Alright. Get a light. Okay, I'm getting a light. Alright, now. So I'm going to hook it to the paper clip. I touch it to the paper clip, which is on terminal 30, which is directly to the fuel pump. Okay, I'm not getting a light. I'm not getting anything. Alright. So that tells me the fuel pump is not grounded. Go ahead and recheck our ground. Okay. Okay, the fuel pump is not grounded. Now, it's either bad ground for this fuel pump. This truck's been sitting a long time, so, or it could be the fuel pump. Now, it's not a real easy fix to get to the ground wire on this thing. We're going to try to go under there and see if we can get a better ground. Move some terminals around. I've heard of people having to pull the bed to get to the fuel pump to ground it. And you got to pull the bed to change the fuel pump anyway. So that's where we are right now on this thing. So next we're going to try to get a better ground on the fuel pump.